am here to talk about working and breastfeeding. So I had to return back to work 6 weeks after my son was born. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I had to go back to work. The fact of the matter is that while I was at work, I had to pump in order for him to have a supply for him to eat for the next day. Now, I cannot stress this enough. If you are able to store your milk, please, please, please do so. Find the extra space in the freezer. Get a deep freezer if you are just blessed like that. Or, just to have that supply, try not to go into it on the days that you feel tired, because there will be that time that you're stressed, that you may not have eaten enough that day, and the next day, he needs to eat, or that same day she needs to eat, and you may not have enough to give, and then you don't want that added stress on top of the fact that you have something that is not causing you to produce as much that day. So when I went back to work, I had a little bit of a stash, but I wanted to make sure that I was able to continuously pump, because it's all about supply and demand. So the more that you pump, the more that you nurse, the more that you'll produce. So I took the time to read my rights, and to speak to HR and to speak to my superiors, my supervisor, my manager, to make sure that they understood that I planned on doing this. I planned on pumping at work. It was the decision that I made. Yes, I could easily give him formula. If I was able to produce, I wanted to be able to do so, and it is legal for me to do so at work. If your job or your workplace doesn't allow you to do that, or says that they don't allow you to do that, they need to update their regulations, because it is now law that we can do this. So once that was set in place, I understood that I was making a sacrifice, not just on my body or my time, but because I work in a sales environment, the extra breaks that I was given took me off of my sales month at least a day and a half. So where my peers were able to sell, I was sacrificing a day and a half every month at least to be able to spend an extra 15 minutes pumping, so that way I can get enough to store for later. So I was definitely okay with that. It was a choice that I made. I always say my breast choice is my best choice. So there's the saying that goes, breast is best. And that might be a little bit unfair to some who have tried and have not been able to continue, or haven't been able to do it at all, or some who feel like that is somehow bashing them for their decision. So I usually say my breast choice is my best choice. It is the best choice that I have for my children. And so that's what I go by. So I just wanted to give you a brief overview of what it looks like on a daily basis for me to be prepared for a day of pumping.